Hey everyone, welcome to Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel. Welcome to the Mujer De Exito Unbounded, Woman of Success Without Limits. Today is step 4, or if you've been listening to this series, today is step 4 or part 4, whatever you want to call it. But it's so incredibly important that you listen to this whole series, and if you need to, make sure that you listen to it twice. But today we're going to talk about set up systems that scale. Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Mujer De Exito Unbounded, Woman of Success Without Limits. I am your host of the Mujer De Exito Unbounded show, MartiAngel, and I just want to say thank you for being here. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell so you never miss an episode. Let's get started. Hola, hola, mujeres. Mujeres hermosas, chulas. Welcome back to another episode of Mujer De Exito Unbounded. As I said before, I am your host, MartiAngel, your Latina biz coach, your multiple streams queen, your digital marketing educator, and your network marketing coach, here to empower you to create a business that not only brings income, pero también brings you freedom, joy, and peace of mind. Yeah, so cool. All right, today we're diving into step 4 of our 6-figure Latina biz roadmap. Today we're going to learn how to set up systems that scale. And amiga, let me tell you, this step is the step that changes todo, cambia todo, changes everything, right? So now let's talk about this. Whenever I talk about systems, I always get like this blank look, same look I used to get from my students when I was teaching algebra, and I would teach them, two-step equation, Pythagorean theorem, whatever it was that I was teaching. I got this blank look on their face, right? The students would have this blank look. And so now that I'm teaching, business, right? And I talk about systems at scale, I get this blank look on their face, on my community's coach's face, right? But I want you to picture this. You wake up, and before your cafecito is even ready, your phone is buzzing with messages, emails, DMs, and you're jumping from one thing to the next. So that by the end of the day, you feel exhausted. Pero the to-do list, or maybe you're like me, you're working on your to-do list, you don't feel exhausted, but you just don't feel like it. Like last night, for example, I had worked all day long and put up some content and did all kinds of things. And by 4:00 in the afternoon, I was like, okay, that's it. I don't want any more. So I went to walk my dogs, and I didn't feel like coming back to my desk. Right? Have you ever been there? Do you feel me? But anyway, let's go back to the to-do list. When you look at your to-do list, if you've been exhausted and know what I'm talking about, you look at your to-do list and you think, "Ay, my, ¿cómo?" Does that sound familiar? I've been there too. In fact, when I first started, I resisted systems. It was like, another learning curve. And I thought, I'm getting too old for this. I'm getting too old to have to learn these things again. But, being that for me, anytime I learn something new, I get excited, and I'm a lifelong learner. It just feels so good. And so when I was starting to learn systems, I remember asking myself, God, can't I do this faster? Why is it taking me so long to learn this? But the truth is that mindset kept me stuck. It wasn't until I embraced the systems that I realized Scaling isn't about working harder, it's about working smarter, and that's what I am all about. Mujeres hermosas chulas, if you're listening to me on the Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel, remember to subscribe and hit that bell. If you're listening to me wherever you listen to your shows and your favorite shows, wherever, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen to your favorite shows, I'm there. So make sure you stop by and say hola. Okay, let's talk about why systems matter. Systems matter because it gives you back some of your time, right? Systems are very important, but people always ask me, why are systems so important? Well, because, amiga, you can't scale chaos. Systems are what turn your hard work into repeatable successes. A system that is just a repeatable process that saves you time and energy is a repeatable process. A system. Let me repeat that again. Let me make it a little bit clearer. A system is just a repeatable process that saves you time and energy. It's automation. Think of something automatically helping, right? Helping you to scale, helping you to do something else that you enjoy, and then you can just delegate to whatever system platform you want and have all that organization all rolled up into one area, right? So again, automation, delegation, and organization all rolled up into one. That's why it's so important that we get systems in place. Here's what happens when you set up your system, right? When you set up your system, you automate repetitive tasks. Those things that you hate to do over and over. It's kind of like copy and paste, single. When we used to start copy and pasting, it was one by one. Now we can, scale and copy everything and paste it over. Well, that's what systems do in your business. You nurture leads without being glued to your laptop. And that's the beauty about that you can actually set up a system to nurture your leads. You repurpose content instead of reinventing the wheel, and that's key. When you set up a good system, you can repurpose your content instead of reinventing the wheel. For example, in the community, I teach about pinning, right? I teach what I'm learning about pinning. And you can take one thing and create, or one piece of content and create 5 pins from it. And then you repost them, right, on Pinterest. That's the beauty about this. When you set up a system, and Pinterest now has the ability to schedule like everything else. So, hermosas, chulas, let's do this. Let's set up our systems. And, if you're like resistant to setting up a system, I hear you, I feel you, I've been you. Yes. Because when you set up a system, you make sales while you sleep, literally, right? Because your system is going 24/7. But you may be asleep and your system is still going. So, hermosas, chulas, if you're listening to me on the Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel, remember to subscribe and hit that bell. If you're listening to me anywhere you listen to your favorite shows, gracias por estar aquí. Make sure you download the episode and share it out. All right, let's get back into it. Sistemas, systems. Without systems, sin sistemas, you will always feel like your business is running you instead of you running the business. Let me repeat that. Without systems, it's going to feel like your business is running you instead of you running the business. But, mujer hermosa, chula, with systems, you are the CEO. You are the one in control. And that's the beauty about this. That is the beauty about this. So let's talk a little bit now about a different part of systems. What systems really look like in real life? Because people always ask me, what are you talking about? What do you mean by systems, right? Well, it could be platforms and different things. And all of those things are the things that I teach in my community. So if you are looking for a community that looks like you, that sounds like you, that feels like you, that culturally is like you, then I invite you to join my Rock Your Biz Academy. For you, the mujerpreneur, the bilingual, the BIPOC woman, the seasoned woman, because we are here to work together, because juntas podemos más. Okay, so let's take a look. What systems look like in real life? Now, I know the word systems can feel overwhelming. Pero listen, déjame decirte, let me tell you, it's not about expensive software or being super techie, right? Being super techie, people always say, well, I'm not techie like you. Well, you don't have to be. You don't have to be techie. Systems can be simple. For example, let's say you're creating a lead nurture system where you send 3 emails that automatically welcome, connect, and invite your subscribers to stay with you. A content repurposing system where one podcast episode becomes a blog, becomes a blog and a carousel post and 3 reels. So let me give you an example of what I do. Every Monday, I work on my articles. So every Monday I produce articles, I blog, I write articles, but they're all one content piece. And then I vary the words a little bit and I change the pictures and then I just schedule them. And they're all going to different places. They're going to LinkedIn, they're going to my blog, they're going to Medium, they're going to my Facebook, they're going to my stories, they're going all over, but I'm not the one that's doing it. I have a system in place that helps me do that. So a sales system, now let's talk about a sales system. A sales system that delivers your product the minute someone buys without you lifting a finger is what we call digital marketing, where you are blogging, there's a link there, somebody clicks the link, and automatically it takes them to the store. Like for me, my Stan store, I talk about different things, and if people are reading my blog or looking, or they're actually here watching me on the Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel, then they click the link, it takes them to a buy page, they buy what they want, and then it takes them to a download page. That can all happen while, let's say, I'm walking my dog. I don't need to be there to make it happen. And that's the beauty of setting up systems. Mujeres hermosas, chulas, you've got to have systems. And that setting up systems, like I said before, in your Rock Your Biz community, that's what I show. That's one of the things I show, right? And the reason I created this community is because I like talking to more than one person. It just reminds me of being in the classroom like I've always been. Yes, I do one-on-one coaching, but I prefer, 1 to 30 coaching, right? So my own journey with systems, let me explain. Are you ready? Get your cafecito and make sure to write some notes. My own journey with systems. Let me share a personal story. You know I love historias. I used to do everything completamente manualmente, completely manually, from sending reminders to email resources one by one. Imagínate, hours wasted I didn't even realize, right? And now with AI that that I've learned how to be a prompt engineer, it just helps me. Now I have actually cut down my work to 3 days a week. I love it. I hope the best for you. And once I set up even the simplest automation, my whole life shifted. I remember the first time someone bought one of my digital products while I was out bailando, right? I was out dancing. I was out dancing. My husband and I, we love to dance, right? And it's so funny because he's not a really good dancer. Don't say anything, but he's not a really good dancer, but he loves to dance. And so here's what I've done is I just don't look at him. I just don't look at him when I dance, right? I just, keep looking at my feet and doing that. And I look at his face and smile, but I don't look at his body because it makes me laugh what he's doing. But anyway, so let's go back, right? So I looked at my phone and I saw the notification and I thought, Dios mío, this is what freedom feels like. Cha-ching, I got that little ding that said I had made a sale. I was so happy. And that's when it hit me. Systems are not about tech. They are about freedom. Let me repeat that. Systems. I came to the conclusion that systems, yes, systems are not about tech. They're about freedom. No son de tecnología. Son de tener tiempo para hacer lo que yo quiero. Systems are about creating a business that supports your lifestyle, not one that burns you out. If you're feeling burnt out, let's take a look at your systems. Perhaps they're not really working effectively. Maybe we need to tweak them here or there and get them moving. Or maybe you did what I did in the beginning. I got a system that was just way over my head, too robust for what I was at. And it took me almost 1.5 years to figure that out. And I don't want that for you. I don't want you to struggle like I did. That's why I'm sharing all this knowledge for free. So I know the one question that everybody asks me is, how, Marty, how do I start small? Well, now you might be thinking, small. Marty, this sounds all great and everything, but where do I start? And what is small? Well, you came to the right place. Here's my 3-step framework. Number 1, identify your bottleneck. Here's what I mean by that. What task drains you the most, right? You got to pick one tool. Pick one tool. Don't try to learn 10 platforms all at once. If you're like me, you're an ADHD, entrepreneur, solopreneur, person, adult. And we get so excited, every time they dangle the carrot, the golden carrot in front of us, we go that way and then we come back this way. But here's what I'm going to tell you. Do not try to learn 10 platforms all at once. Choose one. For example, let's say you choose one email provider, or maybe one scheduler, or maybe one funnel builder. Document the process. You've got to write it all down. I have my journals here. If you were to look at my desk, I have like 3 of them because I document everything. I write it down and then I automate it and then I delegate it. I delegate it to the system, right? That's it. Start with one system, not all of them at once. As we say in Spanish, poco a poco, your business will start to flow. Right? Yeah. Hey, hermosas chulas, if you're catching me and if you're still with me on the Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel, gracias por estar aquí. Remember to subscribe and hit that bell. And remember, I love you. Yeah. And for you, fuerte abrazo. All right. If you're listening to me wherever you listen to the shows, remember to download the episode and share it out. All right. Let's talk about the ripple effect. The ripple effect of systems. The beauty of systems is the ripple effect. They create a ripple effect. With one nurture sequence, you free up your time. With one repurposing strategy, you multiply your reach. With one sales funnel, you stop losing leads. And soon, amiga, you have more energy to show up, to create and to spend time with your familia, right? I love spending time with my familia. Sundays are only for familia. I disconnect. I don't answer any texts unless it's from familia. I don't go on social media. I completely disconnect. I turn off my phone and I enjoy the fruits of my labor that I have done throughout the week. And that's what I want for you, to be able to just completely disconnect and say, ya, basta. Hasta aquí llegó. Because that's what scaling with systems looks like. It's not a hustle. It's not a burnout, but it's ease. It's joy. It's glory. Yes. That is so incredibly important and so worth so much moolah, right? I know. I've been there where you are. Okay. Let's talk about, what are the next steps, Marty? What are you going to do? How, right? So let me tell you this. If you're ready to get started, you got two options. I created something just for you. It's called the Mujerpreneur System Kickstart Checklist, which you can get in my stand store. And I will drop a link in the description below. If you're listening to me, wherever you listen to your favorite shows, make sure to check the show notes. The links will be right there. Because what does it do? It walks you through 3 simple systems every six-figure business needs. And those 3 systems are lead, nurture, content repurposing, sales, and follow-up. And this checklist that I just made this week for you to go with this podcast, and I do this for you guys in my Rock Your Biz Academy, right? This checklist will help you get started without any overwhelm. And amiga, it's free. Es gratis. So go grab it now and start building the systems that will finally give you the time, the income, and the peace of mind. Now, that was one thing. The next thing you can do if you want to go further, or if you want options, join my Rock Your Biz Academy. It's also located in my stand store. And in that community, I teach you everything step by step. We do tutorials, live tutorials, okay? Not just, you can go live or you can watch the replay, and it's just so much fun, right? So remember, mujeres hermosas, chulas, scaling isn't about doing more. It's about doing it smarter. Yes, it is completely about doing it smarter. With systems, you step into your true CEO role. So, hermosas, chulas, I just want to say, you got this. You can do this. I can teach you how to do systems easily, right? So for instance, my system always dumps an email every week. My system always gets ready to program. So like today, example, after I record this, I edit it, I schedule it, I do what I need to do, and boom, on Friday it drops, and I've already created more content and different things. And it's So easy because I don't have to worry about it. I can go help my daughter buy her new car, which she is, while my systems take care of you, my customers. So that's why systems are so important. So, mujeres hermosas chulas, thank you. Gracias for tuning in to the Mujer de Exito Unbounded show. I am your host, MartiAngel. If this episode resonated with you, share it with another mujerpreneur who can learn from it, who can benefit. Bless somebody with the download of this podcast or the link to this video. And don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching me on the Coach MartiAngel YouTube channel, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode of inspiration and strategy. Hasta la próxima, hermosas chulas. Until next time, remember my favorite hashtag, which is Juntas Podemos Más. Remember that collaboration over competition is what will make both of you succeed. So look for people, look for amigas hermosas, look for people that you can collaborate with, not compete with. As always, I am so incredibly grateful for each and every one of you, my watchers and my listeners. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.